How do you think Colin Klein has really resonated, not just with your own players, but with recruits?
Um, his personality, for starters, he's very honest, he's very straightforward, he's very genuine, and I think that's the thing. I don't think any of our coaches are used car salesmen, but Colin comes off in such a genuine way of caring for the recruit, loving the recruit, being honest with the recruit as far as where we see them in the mix. And I'm excited for Colin to be able to have a first full year under his belt as an OC.
What'd you see from him in the spring with an extended amount of time running the offense?
A lot of different wrinkles that we put in, a lot of different terminology and stuff. It's just so hard to judge the spring with all those defensive players out, and that's something for us we've got to gauge quickly in the month of August with, Cooper Beebe's gonna block, Felix no matter what, but Hadley Panzer hasn't blocked Eli that much, or Andrew Linegang hasn't blocked Nate and Felix or Pick or some of those guys that were out. Of getting those guys up to speed and getting those guys great competition. We're trying to keep everybody healthy, but I'm excited about where we're at offensively. And then, we only had Adrian for 2 practices as well. So to pick up where we left off and have 25 good practices to get ready for that first game.
Adrian had some of his better performances against better teams on the schedule last year. How can he build on that?
Well, it's interesting because people ask me about what he did last year or in the previous years. I know the guy played a ton of football, and he's an experienced football player. And what he did in the past, only thing I know is the kid takes ownership in everything. He doesn't pass the buck or say it was a bad play call or say the wideouts didn't do anything or the O-line didn't block. He takes ownership. And so that's where he and Colin are so in sync together. And so I'm excited because I think maybe a change of scenery was positive for him, and as we get into the month of August to just see what his true skill set is. I can see it just by watching film, but to see it live and in person for 2 practices, he's a special talent. Now it's just him fitting into what we're doing offensively and realizing that we still have a pretty good running back there that we got to get the football to as well.
How does the challenge of starting out versus Oklahoma as your first conference game really set the season for you?
Yeah, it is. Well, you're going to play them all anyway. So the fact that the only thing that was for sure is we were going to play on the road. Because that's the only thing that is for sure is K-State always opens on the road. But that's the only thing. You're going to play them all, and you knew which ones were home and which ones were away. So that's the game that we've got to play. To start us off, we've just got such a huge non-conference schedule, and it starts with South Dakota that we've got to gear up for and make sure that we're ready for that one.
New defense last year, switching up the offense a bit this year. Did you imagine evolving this much since you got to Kansas State?
Well, that's college football right now, and it's college athletics right now is evolve and adapt and adjust, and you can complain about it or you can go with the times, and there's no reason to complain about it or say, well, poor us or that, or what are they doing with this rule or that rule. You just have to control what you can control and adapt and adjust. And the defense last year, it helped us not give away so many RPO glances and some of those things in the RPO game. Offensively, we need to get more plays. Now, does that mean that we're going to play 95 plays? Probably not, but we need to get more of a play count so that guys like Phillip and Malik and Deuce and Cade and the guys can get touches and get our best players in football. And so no, nothing surprises me in college athletics. I'm glad. It gives me energy to be with the defense last year and now be a little bit more with the offense, just to kind of learn more and also tell them what hurts the defense.
Coach, a little bit you talked about Cooper Beebe in the spring, moving him down to the tight end guard. Who have you kind of seen emerge at that tackle?
Andrew Linegang is the first name that jumps out at me. Katori Levinston is in really good shape right now. He's having a really good summer and needs to be an impact player for us. But I don't know if he's the tackle and Beebs is the guard or vice versa. That's the great versatility that we have with those 2 guys. Andrew's strictly a tackle right now. Also getting Taylor Portier back allows us more flexibility because he, Hadley, Hayden Gillum, we have some guys inside that, Beebs is going to be a swing guy. Beebs is going to play both guard and tackle this year.
I know you were
Coach,
happy when you got Daniel and Eli back, but what just is their natural maturation now? What more can they bring to defense now?
Well, Daniel Green, I'm excited because he feels more comfortable in the 3 down now, because he was 4 down and then he was back and forth in spring and fall of last year, that he feels really confident in what he's doing in the 3 down, and he really fits a 3 down inside linebacker better. And so I think he'll have a huge year for us. And I think he's probably one of the more underrated players in the league. Eli, man, that guy's just hard to block. I mean, that guy is such a talented football player, and what we need to do with Eli is we need to challenge him to play more plays. Last year we split a lot of time with he and Timmy Horn, and Timmy was a really good player. We've got to challenge Eli. We got to get another 15 to 20 plays out of him a game, and he's excited about that challenge. He's taken this summer to say, okay, I've got to make sure that I'm in good enough shape and condition so I can play not 25 to 30 plays, but closer to 45 or 50 plays.
I think
Coach,
last year he used Jalen at an end more. You mentioned him now as a
Yep.
tackler.
He's going to play both. I mean, he's one of the swing guys. We also have D. Henson there, so we have between Eli, D, and potentially Pick. But it gives us the opportunity to move Pick outside to play some defensive end. There's some games where you're going against tight ends and stuff that you don't want to play Nate and Felix all the time out there. That you end up putting a guy like Pick and probably a guy like Cody Stufflebeam, probably a little bit more run bodies, stout guys in there. So he'll play an awful lot for us, but play both inside and outside.
And where's Khalid Duke fit into that?
Khalid's going to play some DN. He's going to play some linebacker. He's still coming back off of his injury that he sustained, and he's missed some time with a hamstring. So he's not quite there yet, but he's going to get there, and he's going to be an impact guy for us. We saw it in here. That kid can rush the passer. He did it in 2020, did it in 2021 until he got hurt. He'll be an impact for us. It's just a matter of he'll play some DN for us, and he's going to play some linebacker for us.
You said earlier Adrian could really benefit from the change in scenery potentially. Is there an aspect of that you feel jumps out with you, Adrian being in place?
No, I just think with the landscape of transfers, everybody thinks transfers leave because they get in trouble or they hate a place or they got an argument with a coach or whatever it is. And here was a situation where he speaks really highly of the people in Nebraska. The people in Nebraska speak really highly of him. And it was just maybe a change of something where he's like, I want to go try something different and test my skills with what they're doing at Kansas State with Colin Klein. And so there was nothing negative about him coming or leaving. Just sometimes that's the thing that the transfer portal does give. It gives a guy a change of scenery. Then Rush East, great career at Louisville. Change of scenery and end up being an all-conference player here for us. So that's why I embrace it too. We've done really well with the transfer portal. I know we've lost kids, but every program's losing kids. It's making sure you fit and fill them in with the right guys.
Is the battle at center pretty tight still?
Yeah, but they're both going to play. I really like what Hadley's doing, and Hadley's the future there. But Gilly is a guy that's so smart, knows what we're doing, and that's where we need to make sure that Hadley doesn't play nothing but center and play some guard too, because he might be one of our best 5.
Do you guys have any clarity on running back behind Deuce?
No, it's pretty wide open, and that's something that we're going to do in fall camp because of the O-line, D-line battle that we need to make sure that get the guys that have missed spring ball more reps on the D-line and get those younger Hadleys and Andrew against those guys. We're going to get those good O-line and D-line together, and we're going to put those young running backs behind it during fall camp and probably try to preserve Deuce a little bit to see which one of those guys jumps out.
Remember last year?
What was your reaction last year after you guys won in Lubbock and Matt Wells got there to go immediately afterward? And did y'all, given y'all's friendship, did you have any conversations with him about joining your staff?
I don't hit the first question first. I was really sad for college football that Matt was released after the game where he's, I don't know what they were, 5-2, 5-3, but I'm not there, so I don't know all of that stuff. Matt Wells is a dear, dear friend of mine, and I wish Matt nothing but the best. I think he's at OU right now, I'm not sure. But I want what's best for Matt. Matt and I are still really good friends and happy that he's landing on his feet. Matt will be a head coach here soon.
I remember last year you said you sought out some help from some other coaches about switching to the 3-4. Did you do that at all with offense, or was it just you and Colin talking about stuff?
We picked some people's brains. I'm not going to tell you who we picked the brains of. But a lot of that stuff was offensive guys in the winter as well, going professional development or bringing guys in to talk to them. And then just kind of pulling some ideas together. I mean, I'm excited that we added Thaddeus Ward. Thad has done some really good things at the wide receiver position and has some really good ideas. Riles is still one of the best run game guys there is, and BA is kind of the glue there with LePac. And so I'm excited about what some of the things we're going to do.
I know you can't talk about recruiting, but do you think there's any reason why now you guys are resonating more with players?
No in particular reason. Absolutely no in particular reason that I can see. It's just a nonstop. Recruiting's hard, and as you well know, we've got to get kids to Manhattan to have success. And you take that 16-month window where kids couldn't get to Manhattan, and now that is gone. Knock on wood, it doesn't come back. I think we have great things to sell when they come to Manhattan, from our staff to our support staff to our facilities. I mean, that indoor that's going up is going to be magnificent.
When news broke that Adrian was going to come to K-State, and Will Howard in particular, did you have a chance to talk with him after that? How was his attitude, his work ethic during the spring when Adrian was out? What have you seen from him?
Great stuff. Will's a K-Stater and loves it at K-State, and Will still, even though he's played a little bit of football, he's a young player still, especially having to play in the pandemic year. Had conversations with him. Colin has had conversations with him. Will Howard's going to play a lot of football at K-State, and whether or not that's this year, it might be this year. You never know. We didn't think it was going to be in 2020 when it happened with Skyler getting hurt, or 2021. And so I think all these snaps that he's gotten has done nothing but help him. And then getting another voice in there with Adrian, I think it's continuing to help. Will's a team guy, and excited about his future.
How do you feel about your new freshmen so far?
I feel good. Most of them are just getting here for a month, trying to figure out what college life and football is about. But there might be a handful we'll figure out in the middle of August that could help us on some teams.
After the bowl game, did you feel like you gained some momentum from that win and the success?
Absolutely. And the way we did it, I think we played probably our best football game. And, we really had a 42-7 lead and then a couple of touchdowns late, but played attacking style on offense and played a defense like we played when we started our season in here: fast, relentless, cut it loose, so no, you gain momentum when you play that well and play that fast, and the kids gain confidence and have that many guys coming back.
And I know